J Drone here. What is going on, guys? This is the X300. My homie Randy gave me a long time ago. He even fitted it with a Cadillac button. We're gonna go ahead and give this a basic fly. The camera on this is 5.8 gigahertz. You can pull it out and you can put an SD card in it, and to record video and take pictures is that Cadillac button. Yours won't have that if you do have it. And that little dot next to my thumb right there, that is an optical flow sensor. This does not have GPS. This does have an optical flow sensor that was touted as good as GPS. So we're gonna go ahead and press that on. We get red lights. We're gonna go ahead and turn this on. We're gonna throttle up and throttle down. Once you do that, the lights go steady. You could do a one key takeoff and landing, or you can go down and out, and that'll fire the motors. We're gonna go ahead and go up. And look at that optical flow sensor work. He's drifting a little towards me, drifting a little towards me. Don't hit me, don't hit me. It's slowly grabbing. We do not have optimal lighting conditions for an optical flow sensor to work amazing, but I think it's working. I think it's working pretty darn good. I think it's called low ambient light. If we get this lower towards the ground, it may or may not pick it up, because again, that optical flow sensor is an eye that is sensing the ground, and it's having a hard time. It is drifting. There, it's sitting pretty nicely. Again, low ambient light. You can see we have green lights for orientation in the rear, blue in the front, but we are gonna go ahead and just give this a little fly. This thing ain't been flown in, I think, 6 years. I'm telling y'all, when the LVC kicks, you drop it down immediately. That is safe storage for your battery. XK, if you don't know nothing about the XK drones, XK was well before MJX. They were the MJX before MJX was MJX. Again, look at that. It don't have GPS. That's an optical flow sensor that's working awesome in low lighting conditions. But anyway, look at the radio. We got big boy radio. XK was good for that. XK was good for hooking you up with almost hobby type style radios. Look at the yaw rate. We actually got decent yaw rate. We'll bring it closer. We'll bring it closer. Say hello to the camera. Say hello to the camera. Look at the yaw rate. Yaw, 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 yaw. Look at the yaw, yaw. Look at the yaw, yaw. And again, that camera is drifting, and it stops. Optical flow sensor's trying, even in low ambient light. That's very impressive. Very impressive. There's no GPS. There's no GPS. Look at that. It's sitting. Sit, boo boo, sit. You already know. That's why I held on to this thing. And again, it was a gift. My boy Randy hooked me up with it for content on the channel. Go ahead and do a little range run. And again, those lights, you can see those lights all the way from down there. I can see those greens clear. I spin it around, I can see the blues. We're gonna go ahead and fly this way. When you're flying towards yourself, obviously the blues front. When you're flying towards yourself, your left is your right and your right is your left. If you don't understand that, get a quadcopter in the air and go figure that out. I promise you it's the truth. Now, all the way up there, look at that thing sit. Look at that thing sit. It's insane. It's like, where did we go wrong when we had 6 years ago the technology like this? We had optical flow sensors instead of GPS that work better than some GPS. Come on now. And again, this company, I promise you, was well before the time. Little y'all, little funnel action, y'all. And it looks cool. Man, they stopped making drones that look cool. They just making everything looking like DJI stuff. This thing looks like an alien. I mean, if they would have retrofitted a little light right there, hey, thing would have been a Cyclops with the mouth being the 5.8 gigahertz camera. You could see it holding. Look at this thing holding. And we do have a slight wind this way. That's why it's pitching towards it while it's maintaining its position in space. And if we do bring this back this way, skirt, you can see once it stops, I got faith it's gonna stop. I ain't moving. And it's pretty much stopped. But anyway, I want to drop it down. On top of it, you have a battery indicator. Again, this is a 6-year-old battery. Look, 6-year-old battery that held the charge. That's flying this thing. Hey, look. No GPS. No GPS. Thing's moving a little bit when the wind kicks it, but it's maintaining space with the optical flow sensor. The eye underneath it is sensing optically. It makes sense. I'm not touching it. It's so impressive. It is so impressive. Why toy grade drones don't have optical flow sensors on it that work just like this, just like GPS? Come on now. They were going in the right direction. And a 5.8 gigahertz camera, we could put our goggles on. We could put our fat shirts on and go fly this thing. We'll go ahead and kick this up just a little bit. And just take it out a little bit. Take it out to about 100 meters. And again, we have a hobby grade style radio here. You don't really got to worry about distance. This thing's returning home. That's insane. I didn't think it did a return home. Maybe it's connected to the transmitter that's actually returning home. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I'm gonna keep it away from those wires. I wanna see what it does. If this thing actually, I think it's coming back to the controller. It did. It's right on top of the controller. That's wild. I did not think that was a feature, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it just did. The thing darted backwards towards me. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Or maybe, see, we're not blinking. Maybe that wasn't the LVC. Maybe that was mild range. Maybe at 100 meters, that's the range. Because we still got 2 blinkies. I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna take it out till it blinks. I'm mildly intrigued with what just happened. I thought that was the LVC kicking. So we're gonna take it out. There, it's blinking. It's blinking. I'm not touching it. Look at this thing. This ain't a GPS drone. It has to be finding that signal, or it's operating off of a base orientation like old school toy grades were. And again, I'm just adjusting it so it don't hit trees or anything. Where it's operating off of base heading, and it knows that it came from this direction, so that's the direction it's flying back until it gets back in signal, which is, I'm assuming, exactly what happened, because now that we're right on top of ourselves, look what's not happening. It's not blinking. So that wasn't the LVC. That was not the LVC. That is insane. Absolutely insane. This did have different speed ratings. I believe it was this button. No. Not that button. Let's see. Take off. I forget which button it was. Maybe this one? Or here, maybe stick mode. So actually, stick mode will give you higher rates. We're in 100% right now. Let's see what the yaw rate looks like in 100%. Probably crazy. Probably crazy. That's 100%. And we will go ahead and... Oh yeah, it's a burner. So this is 100%. We were flying it in, I believe, 80%. Ooh, don't hit nothing. Don't hit nothing, boy. This thing will break to pieces if you hit something. It's not made out of Duraflex like Sky Viper was making their stuff out of. This thing's a plastic. This thing's a super plastic. But that technology. And again, when signal starts to lose, it's coming back on what I believe is a base heading. I don't think it's legit coming back to the controller. If it is, this thing got more technology than some of the newer stuff out there. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? We're on our last little bleep right there, and I'm actually gonna set it down just because I don't know when I'm gonna fly it again. I do have 2 batteries for this, so maybe we'll get it out again, and maybe we'll put fat sharks on, and maybe we'll show you that you can fly it with goggles. Guys, hit that subscribe button. What you waiting for? Ain't nobody flying this. Ain't nobody making videos like I'm doing. Ain't nobody showcasing the old school stuff, the old school technology, which they should have stuck with. And as you can see, now that we've set and we're not drawing on the battery, we actually have 2 LEDs for the battery. So we could have probably flew a considerable amount of time, but again, I'm conserving the battery because I'm not sure when I'm going to use it again. Guys, hit that subscribe button. Cadillac in the house. Randy. Hey, if you still watching my channel, I appreciate you. Later, guys.